quick you guys were doing. How many times is Bailey?
Yeah, my sister's looking down.
I would have been home playing like Destiny 2.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming to Kathy Owen's birthday today. It's her birthday. You probably didn't know that. Happy birthday to Kathy today. And we had this today. We have had this stone here that we had made last year, but because of COVID, we were unable to do something like this to dedicate the stone. Kathy lived here her whole life with her brother Jim, and she was responsible for everything you see on this street right now, and the flags, the Christmas tree. She's carried on a tradition that all of us are continuing to do, and it's good to see you all here. And she knew a lot of people. She kind of spread the wealth all across town. She helped anyone who would ask. And Bob here graduated with Kathy.
Yes, I did.
And so Bob wanted to say a few words, and he also helped Kathy in repairing the pillars that she worked for, to repair for 8 years. She worked with you. And so if you can tell me a little bit about what she did with you.
I'll start out. I hope everybody can hear me. Good evening, Mayor Owen. He never lets me forget. And Redfield neighbors. We're meeting here this evening on both a sad and a happy occasion to dedicate this marker to the memory of Kathy. I need to get this right because I know Kathy. And I know she's watching. She was very detail-oriented. A few years ago, Kathy and I were classmates and graduated high school together. Even back then, she was into the details. Believe me, she never missed a detail. An individual, she left nothing to chance. Some years ago, we had I hate to say it, a 50th year class reunion, and I was honored to serve on the committee with some of my fellow classmates and Kathy. Thanks to Kathy's diligence, it was a great event. There were no glitches, no items were overlooked. Everything went like clockwork. It was just unbelievable. It was a great reunion. About 10 years ago, Kathy called me one day and says, "We need to talk." She approached me as a council member, asked for my assistance and opinions on having the city rebuild and restore the Redfield pillars. I thought it was possible, but I knew it would be an uphill battle. Being politics, every council member fights for their own ward. She said she was up to it, and the war commenced. Some of the obstacles we faced were public opinion. One person insisted the VA own them, so let the VA pay for it. Another person was adamant it was a pile of rocks, knock it down, be done with it. And some people said, well, Redfield's a privately owned street, let them pay for it. And it went on and on. Kathy dug in, proceeded to make a lot of visits to City Manager Jason Molino's office, seeking his advice to move the project forward. She never wavered, and I'll tell you, she's persistent. Each obstacle was overcome one at a time, and she just kept moving forward. This included research that proved that the pillars were deeded over to the city, and also there were right-of-way easements for the individual pillars that are on private property. They were done by the developer long before the VA existed, long before most of these homes existed. So it moved forward, and with the help of the city manager and the expertise of the DPW chief at the time, Matt Work, the project started really progressing. Matt put it out. He got had a professional engineer, the mayor of Perry, who was an expert at this sort of thing, designed it, spec it all up. Being a municipal project, it all had to be engineered, and got some bids in, and we were surprised the bids were well within the budgeted amount. So after 8 years of hard work, the pillars were restored. Today they look just exactly as they were built. There were a lot of photographs. They took them completely apart, rebuilt them. The mayor checked the progress every day, sticking his head in, telling the guys, move that stone there and this one here. and he reported to Kathy, who was watching from above. I will say this much. Kathy, she had some difficult personal times going on. She remained the cornerstone of Redfield Parkway. She set the standard for all the neighborhoods in this community. She is everything that neighborhood activity is about. So Kathy, thank you for all your efforts. Happy birthday. Thank you.
And Linda was a really good friend with Kathy. She lives right across the street. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say a few words about my very dear friend. Happy birthday in heaven. Been thinking about you all day, Kath. Few things about Kathy. I know Bob had said all of those things, and you know that she went to City Hall. She did all of those things, but she was such a quiet helper. She didn't want a fanfare. She didn't want anybody to say anything to her. She just did it humbly and quietly, and I just personally aspire to be that way. She was just an extraordinary gardener and dear friend. I'll miss her. And yeah, Redfield Parkway. I think about Redfield Parkway, and I think about Kathy. And of course, the mayor.
Well, Linda is kind of modest, but she did coin the effect Queen of Redfield.
I didn't. Oh, Queen of Redfield.
Queen of Redfield.
Queen of Redfield is, yes, not mayor. It wasn't me.
But also, she had this nice inscription. Linda was the one that came up with this nice inscription.
Oh, yes.
And Mike Rosenbeck brought the rock.
Yeah.
We don't know where, but it's here now. It's on Redfield, so
It's
we
on
appreciate
Redfield.
that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Linda. Nick, you want to go? Nick lives here. He takes care of all of our Christmas trees. He's our he's
For
our
a lot of
treasurer.
things that Kathy did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's kind of filled in for us all during COVID when we were hidden in our homes, and
I was hiding too.
and contacting us by email, seeing as how we couldn't see each other.
Hello, neighbors, and especially hello to all of you who I haven't met yet, even though I have all your personal information. As the Christmas tree guy, I have your email and phone, etc. So, which brings me to a point that I gave thought to. What could I say about Kathy? Lots of good things said tonight, but I think as someone who has moved back and forth across the country, lived in several states, if you've done that, you know how lonely it can be when you first arrive. And the one thing that I think Kathy, for me, did that is most memorable is she made sure that when someone new moved down the street, that they were met by her, they were welcomed, they were introduced, and of course she gave me all the information so I could update the roster. She's always had me working, and that's okay. So that is something I think is really special. And so I'll close with just an appeal to you as neighbors. When we do have new neighbors, or I think we have some newer neighbors right now, make a point to be acquainted, be there to help, because we are neighbors, we're a community, and this is a very special street. So, thank you.
So next we have Greg Hallett. He's responsible for everything at Go Art, and so you recently got to know Kathy in a little bit of a way here, right?
I did. At first, when the mayor asked me to speak today, I questioned it for a split second because I never actually met Kathy. I never knew her per se, but then I started thinking that actually I do know her very well. In 2019, Don Freiling, next door neighbor to the mayor and the queen, I was a volunteer at Go Art and said that he talked to me about putting up Kathy's pictures in one of our galleries, and he said that I needed to contact Linda and Jim and see what we could accomplish. So we put on the show. Jim brought over all these pictures. We talked for quite a few hours about each picture and what they were and what part of her they were. And then he invited me over to his house, and I've been over here quite a few times now, going through her books and her other artwork to see and learn different things about her. And now we actually have a section at Go Art dedicated to her in our library. That's the Kathy Owen library, and it's got photography books and other fine arts books in that section, because not only did she do art, but her books got moved into our library. So we have a ton of her books from this house over there, and I've learned a lot about her. I've heard so many amazing stories, and I really wish that I had got to meet her in person, but I know her, I feel just as well as anybody else, because Jim has made sure that I knew everything about her. So I am honored to be here. I was honored to be asked, a little scared, but honored. And this is an amazing event, and I'm so glad that all of you people are here to celebrate this. Thank you.
Next we have City Council President Gene Jankowski.
First time I met Kathy, she spoke at a council meeting in reference to the pillars behind us, and afterwards I was walking out and I heard her call my name, and I turned around and Kathy was standing there, and she politely explained to me how important it was to the neighborhood. And knowing the neighborhood, since I grew up in this town, this neighborhood has always been one of the coolest neighborhoods, because the Christmas trees are decorated, the flags are decorated. My aunt lived on the street, and I always used to like come and see the flowers and the medians, and everyone took care of it. And so I read the inscription, it says, dedicated to a lifelong advocate of Redfield Parkway. All of you are advocates of Redfield Parkway, and you make the city of Batavia look even better. So I just wanted to thank you guys for being part of the city of Batavia, keeping your houses up so nice, being that exemplary neighborhood. And other neighborhoods now are springing up similar. I don't know if you know, but Summit Street is kind of doing a similar thing. And everything, I think, is referenced off your neighborhood, because you guys have been doing it forever. The pillars kind of give you that unique historic landmark of your street. And you guys, without the people that live here, this would just be empty buildings. It's you that make this neighborhood. You that come here and help with your neighbors and work with Kathy and put those trees up every year. You guys are the ones. You're the ones who make it happen. And Kathy obviously is gone, and you guys are carrying it on. So she did a good job with you guys. She trained you well to carry on the torch. And I just want to thank you guys for that. I think it's very impressive, and I always enjoy coming down the street. It's always decorated so nice, always so clean and nice. It's just really a nice place to be. So thank you again for being part of it.
Thank you.
I forgot to say, her show is still up at Go Art. It went up right before COVID, and it hasn't been replaced yet. We just opened up again this week, and we're open Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So all of you are required to come see her show before it ends at the end of August.
Oh, okay, so it'll be on through the
Yes.
summer.
All right, great.
Yes, it'll be up through the summer. So please come down and see it.
So Go Art's open, ready to go.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for those kind words too. Yes,
You guys deserve it. You're
we all
very
are working very, very hard. It was difficult for us.
You're very welcome.
Yes. And Jim?
Oh, well, thank you very much. But let's say thank you to all you people here, not just the Redfield Parkway and what a group we've got today, but also the citizens of Batavia are here. We have the Hollow Land Office gentlemen are here, again representing. We have the city historians here representing the city. We have a few other people here that represent our community. She would be very proud. As you well know, it is her birthday today. She's looking down and she's saying, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Now, the next part, which is hard to believe, but we have some great people here that provided some nice items here. First, I'd like to mention Robin Ettinger. She did a beautiful plaque. You'll see here, Kathy Owens Memorial Garden. If you look closely, she put the pillars on there, which is kind of a new taste there. But she went beyond the call of duty, and we appreciate that. We have Kurt Earl. In a few moments, we'll have a little pizza. We got Michael Marsh, who will provide some cupcakes with some crowns on there at the City of Redfield. So we want to thank all the people that helped out. Linda, of course, he's been the new newsletter. My sister would be very proud of that because that's something she'd like to have done, so we want to say thank you. And of course, putting this all together is Alicia. She did a great job there. And I got to remember that our great friends here who take care of the pillars today, the Pierce family there, Brenda and Jim, they do a super job. Behind the scene, I watch every once in a while. They do a good job. But I want to thank all the residents of Redfield for coming out today. She would be honored. I probably know a few of your names here, but if I miss it, I say all. I cover you all there. But thank you very much for coming. It's a gorgeous day. She couldn't ask for a better day. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome to stay and chat.
Yeah, you can come down to we got
It's the
some
neighborhood
pizza,
to do that kind of thing.
right in the yard here. Come right on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.